What's up, mother truckers?
Hey! What is going on, mother truckers? Welcome to the Asian Mai Show. Hopefully you guys are having a great day today. I'm out here with my boy Miguel. We actually came out here together. We drove out 3 hours to come to this tow show, but we're here to answer the questions that you have. And Miguel is basically the specialist with Kenworth. So thank you so much for being here, brother.
No problem. My pleasure. My pleasure.
So
thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. So here's the question most of you mother truckers have, and I'm looking in the mirror right now. I'm looking at you guys. You guys been asking this, so let's get this answered, Miguel. All right. Kenworth is basically is the cream of the crop, right?
Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it sells itself. Kenworth quality is, it's all there.
And so a lot of mother truckers out there might want to get a Kenworth in the future. They might be a company driver now,
move.
Right?
Smart move.
They might be a company driver now, and they might want to get into something like this, right? Mm-hmm. So let's break it down for all the mother truckers out there. How much experience basically do they need? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, let's break it down for the guy that maybe has been a trucker for a year.
Okay.
Maybe break down for the trucker that's been doing it for about 2-3 years.
Okay.
How do they get themselves into a Kenworth, right? How do we get the finance done? Tell me a little bit about that. Let's start with the 6 months to a year people.
Okay. What's up, mother truckers? Miguel Cruz, Kenworth in South Florida.
Hey,
yeah, as far as finance, when you're in this business for about 6 months to a year, you got your CDL, you're out there, you've been working for 6 months, you're feeling like you're ready to move on. But a lot of finance companies, what they're looking for is about 2 years experience. Doesn't mean you cannot buy at 6 months to a year. Just means that you're going to have a little more trouble. Right. Buying a truck is different than buying a car or a house. When you buy a home or something like that, that's a personal loan. You got a good credit score, that's all that matters. When you're buying a truck, it's a little more than a good credit score. They're looking, it's good and bad. Finance companies, that's to your benefit. Because if you don't exactly have one thing, which is like maybe all the experience or all the down payment, right, they're looking at the full combination.
So everything.
Your down payment, how much experience you have. Experience goes a long way because experience is what shows a finance company that your ability to pay.
That makes sense to me. So let's say, okay, I walk in, right? Mm-hmm. I want to walk into your dealership and I want to buy a Kenworth, and I have 6 months to a year experience. My credit score is about 650 to 700 score. Mm-hmm. I never bought a truck before. What things should I have lined up before stepping to you guys? You know what I'm saying?
For most of those kind of situations you're talking about,
right,
banks are going to require most likely about a 20% down payment. 20% of your out the door price. So, for instance, $100,000 out the door, they're looking for about 20 grand down.
Okay.
Now, if you have great credit,
okay,
that can help that come down.
What's great credit now?
Well, great credit nowadays for a truck is a little more than a score. Okay. It's a good credit score, 650, and I'm talking about a first-time buyer.
Right,
because obviously, if you're not a first-time buyer, you already have commercial credit.
That's
if you paid well, you got a foot in the door already.
Okay.
But for a first-time buyer,
right,
what they're looking for is at least 2 years experience. You know what I mean? More is better. If you were an owner-operator in the past and can prove it, that's always a big plus, because being a company driver is different than being an owner-operator.
I hear you, I hear you.
And banks recognize that.
Right.
And so if you have owner-operator experience, another big plus.
I feel you. So, okay. So, let's walk the people through it. They need 2 years experience.
2 years experience.
Should about 2 years experience.
If you have less, doesn't mean it's impossible. Just means you have to be stronger in your other fields.
That's right.
High credit score, strong down payment.
Right.
You got to be stronger in those fields. Than if you don't exactly have the experience. Now, if you have 10 years experience, you don't have too much down payment. That also works too. That can work.
Okay.
That can work.
So just be prepared. Be prepared that if you're a brand new trucker, it sounds like, you're going to have at least 20% down, it sounds like.
In most cases.
In most cases. So I just want you guys to know that out there, okay? 20% down. Now, when we talk about getting financed with the bank, do I go out and get the loan, or do I talk to Kenworth? You know, so you're in South Florida Kenworth. Do I go to you and you help me get the loan, or what banks do I look at? Because a lot of people are getting denied. They're saying, you know, they can't get it, you know?
Well, I'm going to tell you, in a lot of these cases, okay, you can go both routes. You can go through your dealership, or you can go on your own. I'm going to tell you now, the biggest benefit to this, use your dealership, because your dealership has established relationships with these banks. They can speak on your behalf. They're going to be listened to a little more than the individual that goes out to the bank and tries to get a loan. It's a little more difficult that way. And I'll be honest, in those cases, you might be able to get a little better rate if you can go to your own bank and get the loan, or if you can go. But if you're a first-time buyer, it's going to be tough.
You might not have the pool, right?
You may think, oh, it's easy. I have great credit. My bank, but when you go to your bank and you tell them what the loan is for, it changes even their criteria. It's not a personal loan anymore. It becomes a commercial loan.
Right. No, I appreciate that. So, all you mother truckers, man, Miguel is letting you know he's a friend of mine. We came out to the tow show together.
Any questions, anytime. You contact the agent, my show, any questions, anytime.
Hey, that's cool, man, because I'm being honest, like, as a truck driver myself, going in to buy my own truck, like, I was nervous, you know what I'm saying?
No, I hear you.
I didn't know what to do. You know, I walked in there with like $5,000, and then they said I needed 20% down. You know, right?
A lot of salesmen out there might take advantage of a situation like that. You're nervous. They know you're nervous.
Okay.
You know, so you got to be diligent. You got to be diligent. You got to be a smart buyer. You got to ask questions. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, because a salesman that doesn't want you to ask questions, he's not doing his job.
Oh, I like that.
He's not doing his job. You gotta, you know, a salesman's supposed to let his customer ask questions. There are no dumb questions, and he's supposed to be there for you to help you get started.
Man, I love that. So, final recap for the people that are watching this. All right, just tell me straight up bullet points what they should have as a new first-time truck buyer. What should they have that's recommended?
First thing you should know is try to have an idea of the equipment you need. You know, a lot of times guys go look at trucks and they don't understand the application of their truck. Try to have an understanding of what you're going to do and what type of equipment you need, because once you commit to that truck and you sign on that dotted line, you got to make the payments on that truck. If it doesn't suit what you're doing, it doesn't matter what the price was.
That's
you know what I mean? So none of that matters. That's the first thing you need to know. Second of all, have some. If you're a first-time buyer, you know, be prepared to have some down payments, something. When you're a first-time buyer and you're walking out there with just $2,000 down and $3,000 down with a 550 credit score, you know, it's probably not going to work. You know what I mean? You got to be realistic. It's probably not going to work. Not saying there's not programs out there, because there's buy here, pay here.
We can talk about those programs after.
Yeah, we're going to touch on all of those things, but there's programs like that. There's a lot more detail to that. You know what I mean? That we'll get into in other shows.
So. And that's the thing is, I was going to just ask you that too. Would you mind being on the show again, just to give people insight on how to get into trucks? And we could get into maybe specific issues with people with bad credit and different things like that. But for this one, all you mother truckers see and hear that you're going to have some money down. They would like you to have at least 2 years experience. And you know what? The rates might be a little bit higher with the dealership. But just like Miguel said, if you're going through a dealership, they can represent you to their people and get the loan done, right?
Absolutely. Dealerships have relationships with these finance companies. So, you know, mine and any dealership, you know, that's part of the gig. You know, you have to have relationships with the finance companies.
I love it.
And you got to get them to work with you.
I love it. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And you guys all have a great day.
Have a great one, mother truckers.
Yay.